was raised by the wolves, ate till they fool. Run through the night, better play it right. I was raised by the wolves, ate till they fool. Risking your life, better play it right. Yeah, you better play it right.
Here we go again, right now, let's go. Me and you, toe to toe. We can rock, we can roll. Here we go again, right now, let's go. Me and you, toe to toe. We can rock, we can roll. Here we go again, right now, let's go. Me and you, toe to toe. We can rock, we can roll.
Here we go again. Table Titans is back. And as always, my partner in crime, Andy Kurz. What's up, brother?
What's happening? Just finished my cookie. I was going to cheers with the cookie, but now I'm cheersing with the water.
Oh, man.
Right, that's what's happening.
I don't have a cookie. I don't have water. What kind of cookies you eating there over there?
Yeah, I found these at the grocery store, and it's right up my alley. These are oatmeal coconut chocolate chip cookies from Market Basket.
Wow.
Yeah, it might be my new favorite cookie. I'm tough.
Shout out to Market Basket. My favorites are you ever had the kitchen sink cookie?
No, but I'm down.
David's makes them. David's cookies. They make it's like Reese's chocolate chip. It's the kitchen sink. It's just literally everything. But yeah, that's my favorite cookie. Either way, it's good to be back, man. Another week. As the comments are already coming in, what a time to be a Cage Titans fan. I'm so ready for Saturday. Such a sick card. It is a sick card. Andy, what's your opening thoughts going into fight week?
This is a full spectrum of mixed martial arts card. We've got some pivotal title fights at the top end, at the highest level of professional mixed martial arts, and we've got some of they're probably the most amateur debuts that I've seen on a Cage Titans card in recent memory as well. So you're getting all spectrums of mixed martial arts on this card to close out the year for Cage Titans at Plymouth Memorial Hall. And that's all the reasons why all the fans should be excited. You're getting every bit of MMA that you can ask for, from the debut jitters to amateur title fights to seasoned professionals on the run up to grizzled veterans that are making one last hoorah, to UFC veterans and champions on the local scene taking each other on. And you get so many flavors of mixed martial arts action just based on the vastness of levels that you're going to be seeing from start to finish. So it's always incremental intensity, and I think that Cage Titan 74 has turned out to be quite the card to close out the year.
Yeah, man, you took the words right out of my mouth. We pride ourselves at Cage Titans. We are a stage for everybody, and everybody's equal. Whether you're a one and done, first timer, UFC vet, want to be in the UFC, and like we set the stage, and we open that stage to any and all comers. And I think this is a great card to kind of show what you just touched on. That we are actually that company. That's not a marketing term. We really are. And as you said, 5 debuts on this card as amateurs, UFC veteran at the top of the card, UFC hopefuls, and then you got like lifelong, martial artists like a Tom Santos who's fought all over the world. And you got that new age of amateur champions who, with a defense here, might be going pro next year. You got guys that are one win away from fighting for some of those amateur titles. We talk about this all the time, and I think this really is a culmination, and what a way to end this year, kind of with a bang, from a standpoint of Cage Titans. Because don't forget, we have Ring Titans on December 13th.
That's why I had to throw out there the last show for Cage Titans at Memorial Hall, because December 13th, we've got Ring Titans 2 at the Wolves Den, which is where weigh-ins is being held.
Yes.
I found that out today because I'm just an idiot in many facets. And I didn't read the fine print on the poster, seeing that it was at the Wolves Den until you told me on the phone earlier that it was at the Wolves Den. So I would have driven all the way to Plymouth, not knowing I would have had to have been in Pembroke, and I would have been very upset with myself. So,
well, I pulled it up at, perfect opportunity to pull it up. Here is our fight week schedule of events. We got the press conference on Thursday at Main Street Sports in Plymouth. I actually got a little flyer for that. I'll show you guys. We're about to drop this, and I have a video for that, but we're going to get back to that. But quickly, we'll run this down. Thank you for setting the table for me. Press conference on Thursday, Friday live with Lynch at Wolves Den, ceremonial weigh-ins at Wolves Den, pregame bash, as always, at Second Wind Brewing on Saturday, right before Cage Titans 74 at Plymouth Memorial Hall. And then, as always, the after party at Tavern on the Wharf. I did mention the the press conference. We got on the topic because we were talking about weigh-in, but I got a quick little video. Here's what I got. My challenge to all you guys that are watching, and we're going to be posting this on social media. This upcoming Thursday, 1 p.m., Main Street Sports. Let's get out. Let's get rowdy. Let's bring some energy. Parent and party for the first time in person, face-to-face. You definitely don't want to miss this, and I want to match their energy, guys. So listen, I'll give you a fucking doctor's note. I'll forge it, whatever I got to do. I want you to call out of work and get your ass to Main Street Sports because, their energy is going to be so large that I want people there to witness it and also feed off them and give them your energy on Thursday. And then, honestly, the other part is, if you big bodies are there, I might start taking a couple of you out of the crowd and bring you in as security up at the stage. So this upcoming Thursday, I got a quick little video for you to get you a little excited, get that blood boiling. And then, so hold on one second. Here you go.
At home, cover your ears.
You fraudulent mother.
All right, that's enough of that one. That's enough of that.
I'm gonna bring a revelation level reckoning to you.
The only reason, if I was there, he would be really quiet. He would still say his because he knew there was people in between us. But it really doesn't matter. Hey, don't worry about it. November 15th, I'm bringing extra pillows. I'm bringing a blanket. I'm going to tuck you in. I'm going to coddle you. I'm going to hug you. And then slowly but surely, we're going to put you to sleep.
It's the guy that can take a good punch in his face. And at the end of the day, I've proven time and time again against guys that are just good at getting punched in the face that they need fucking more.
Ooh, there we go, Andy. Main Street Sports is the place to be. Pre-fight press conference. You got the chills yet?
I was eating the cookies, and after watching that, I had to get some chips because it got salty in there. So I had those guys are chirping, and they're going to be throwing fisticuffs come Saturday. But as excited as I am to watch them perform as mixed martial artists, because I respect their skills, and I'm a fan of both of their skills, and I'm so intrigued to see how they match up in the cage with the physical skills. I'm equally excited to see how they match up on the microphone. It's like a roast battle between seasoned comedians who are not shy of words, who will dig into trenches, who are wordsmiths in their own respect. I admire their skills of orators as well. I like the mental warfare that they both play, and I think it's going to accent so nicely in the build-up to the fight, which I think is also going to be action-packed. So normally, I don't care for shit talk leading up to a fight. I think they both bring an element of entertainment value to it, regardless of how personal it may be. They're both proficient at it in that at a craft in and of itself, I find. So this is a press conference I'm quite actually looking forward to witnessing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always interesting. We talk about this when we're trying to plan a press conference. Sometimes we'll go back and forth. It's like, should we do it? Should we not do it? But this was one that since we've announced this fight, it was like hands down, this presser's on the docket where it's going down. And they both have kept their distance from each other leading up to it. Jay made a request. Hey, listen, I'll do the presser, but I'm not going to do any joint media with him leading up to it. And Jay, Party was kind of peppering him a little bit there, being like, come on, get down and talk. And, he was trying to instigate a little bit, and Jay wasn't taking the bait. The day and time was the presser, so that's what's going down this upcoming Thursday. Main Street Sports. I'm going to throw it up there again for you. Main Street Sports, right on the main street of Plymouth, Massachusetts.
You can't beat it.
It's an unbelievable. Also, our DJ Adam Russell and his wife Lisa are longtime employees, managers, part owners, whatever they are, but they have deep ties to Main Street. So let's go out and support our own. Get there for the pre-fight press conference. Party, Perrin in the same building. It's going to be bananas. In addition to that, I have a feeling, we're all looking forward to seeing Party and Perrin yap at each other, but we will also be having, let's not forget, the champ himself, Isaiah Torres, will be at the press conference, as well as the Wonder Bread Warrior, Casey Norton. In normal circumstances, they're shit talkers in their own right to an extent. I'm pretty stoked to add that to the presser as well. So we're going to have a good press conference for you. So the more the merrier. Call out of work, take a long lunch break, whatever you got to do. That's it. Let's go.
Yeah, that co-main event fight for the flyweight title, as you mentioned, those are two who are not going to be minced for words, either both at peak confidence in their career trajectory with this opportunity on the line for Cage Titans Gold, which will propel either as a top prospect in the New England region that much further. So a lot on the line there, and neither is shy on the microphone as well. So full weight in this press conference leading up to Cage Titans 74. And I know I talked to you on the phone. I was like, I'm probably going to miss that because it's a lot of driving to and from Plymouth for me through the weekend, but fuck, I might have to make it down to that one. So plus I can't say no to Main Street as well. So
you're the resident musician there on Saturdays. You can't miss out on a Main Street presser.
No,
brother.
I can't. So I think I'm going to make it down there. So
there we go. Well, I really cannot tell you how excited, I am for the presser. And maybe anybody who shows up, first shots on me, first drinks on me. How about that?
Oh, it's going to be one of those Thursdays.
Okay, we can have a thirsty Thursday. So first, you come on down to the presser in person, call out of work, take your long lunch break, whatever it is. Your first drinks on me at Main Street Sports. Let's get rowdy. Let's have some fun, and let's cheer these guys on in the press conference because I'm like, it's kind of like that first day of school feeling. Like, I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen. I'll tell you this. Party has fooled me many of times being like, I'll be cool, Mike. I'll be cool. Let me stare down. Let me get in it, and I'm like, all right, cool. And he always fucks with me. And I think he's cool. I remember Bruno. Bruno's there with his kid. He's like, no, his kid's there. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. I promise. Respect. All right, fine. I'll let you stare down. Because in the video, as you saw with, when he fought Richie, he did the grab, pulled his glasses, all that stuff. So with the Bruno fight, I thought he was really going to be good. And sure as shit, he fucking reached over, took a swipe at him. I will tell you this. I will be on alert, and I'm not getting played a fool again. So I don't know how close I'll get them. I'll let them get. I'll tell you that. And we're going to be on alert the entire time. These two do not like each other. And it's so apparent. And, you got Party that's actually, Andy, we were talking about it. Like, you got Party who is looking to get in your face and cause shit. And Jay's just kind of a no-nonsense guy. So that's what kind of scares me a little bit. Like, Jay's not into playing. And kind of Khabib versus Conor. Like, it's for show, sell the fight. And Khabib's like, no, I'm fucking you up. And I feel like that dynamic is a little bit like that.
Like I said, it does to put the personal aspect of it aside, they're both wordsmiths by nature, and they both have a flow about them, and the distaste for each other with the opportunity to commit violence against each other is part of the art form in certain aspects. Again, it's probably one of my least favorite elements of it. I know I'm not a big shit talker, and it's never been one of my favorite parts of the fight game, but for whatever reason in this instance, it's like the two best are going at it against each other, and how could you not be excited for it? Yeah, so yeah, I see that. Yeah, there's a no nonsense element of it, and then there's a playful element of it. But yeah, I find it strange that I'm talking with this much excitement about shit talk between a fight. But
Andy famously on the Table Titans episode with Barrett and Giannetti, like that started the
you still bring
rivalry.
that out. That was
You got a meme of him biting his nails in the corner as Giannetti and Barrett are like legit, just like
got heated out of nowhere too.
it
That was the
wild.
early days.
Yeah, those were the early days. So
That was a literal moment of, oh yeah, well come on over and I'll kick your ass, and then someone showed up, and it just hold it. It was like it was all right. I'm on my way, and I was like, all right, what the fuck is building up here? There's more and more people kept showing up. I'm like, every single one of us knows how to fight. Like this is gonna get really out of hand out of nowhere real quick. Like it escalated quickly.
For those who are, you see our joyfulness in reminiscing now 8-7 years later.
I mean,
this is every keyboard warrior's nightmare, or revert. Like think of that whole thing. Like, oh, cool, you're real tough behind the
they
keyboard.
weren't keyboard warriors. They're actual savages.
Well, no, I'm trying to like help people understand. It was like, imagine being there and be like, yeah, say it to my face, I'll kick your ass. Actually, I live 18 minutes away. I'll be right down. And then the dude fucking walking in. It was like, oh shit. Like this is that. It was crazy. But that was Table Titans. That was the Barrett Giannetti, a rivalry like no other. But Perrin and Party is definitely going to be a fun one. So I just wanted to take some time to go over the press conference this upcoming Thursday. I'm going to make it big, and I'm going to play you the video real quick. Main Street Sports this upcoming Thursday live at 1 p.m. Open to the public, encouraged to the public. And you heard it here. If you come on down, your first drink's on me. Main Street Sports this Thursday. Party Perrin press conference with Isaiah Torres and Wonderbird Warrior as well. And here's a little video for you one more time.
At home, cover your ears.
You fraudulent mother.
All right, that's enough of that one. That's enough of that.
I'm gonna bring a revelation level reckoning to you.
The only reason, if I was there, he would be really quiet. He would still say his because he knew there was people in between us. But it really doesn't matter. Hey, don't worry about it. November 15th, I'm bringing extra pillows. I'm bringing a blanket. I'm going to tuck you in. I'm going to coddle you. I'm going to hug you. And then slowly but surely, we're going to put you to sleep.
It's a guy that can take a good punch in his face. And at the end of the day, I've proven time and time again against guys that are just good at getting punched in the face that they need fucking more.
There you go. Well, the time's over. The time is almost here, man. Time is almost here.
Salty as it gets, and we're not doing the hot wing hot take. So you don't get the chance to get a beer off Big Mikey because the picks aren't being made. So you got to go to the presser for a free drink this weekend.
There you go. Press conference on Thursday. Mikey will be at the presser. That's actually another reason. So Big Mikey for security. We were going to try to do a primetime presser on a Wednesday night, but he is a CO at the jail, so he couldn't get the night off, but he has Thursday off. So I was like, I don't know if, and Andy, you were originally not coming, so I was like, I don't know if I'm man enough to run this presser by myself with Party and Perrin with no backup. So that was another reason we bumped it to 1 o'clock on Thursday, so I can have some backup there, so to speak.
Yeah, all right, yeah. That's kind of the presser that it's going to be. So, fuck,
Let's go.
I'm making the trip. I'm in. Fuck.
All right. Well, anyways, tonight's the night. We're talking about the entire fight card. We're going to break that down for everybody. the entire fight card is up on CageTitans.com. You can see it. It's in order. The first 2 matches of the night are 2 grappling matches. Tyler McKeon out of Boletto's training, good training partner and friend of Vinny the Bull. I promised Vinny the Bull that I'd get his friend a match. So Tyler McKeon is taking on Lozon MMA's Lico Rines. And then we also have returning rematch. They fought in a gi at our last event. Cage Titans future stars Kane Cowley is taking on Raymond Hickford. Last event, it was a gi match, and Raymond's team, and in the talks, it was, hey, that kind of favored Kane. Raymond's more of a wrestler based, no gi guy. So they agreed to run it back this way. So we have that rematch going down, and then we get right to our first fight of the night, which is Ryan Woodside taking on Tyler Frizzle. Andy, I'll take this one because they're 0-0s. I'll give you the quick synopsis. Tyler Frizzle is out of Jake Pilla, Gorilla Crew. Super tough kid. Heard some good things about him. He's been waiting for this debut a couple shows now. We didn't get him a match last time, so he's been in fight camp for a while, so he's going to be ready. As for Ryan Woodside, he's out of Darkside BJJ, out of Aaron Hughes, Shane Brady's gym that Aaron Hughes now does the MMA program at. Ryan Woodside, though he's 0-0, I think he's 5-0 in Wisher Kickboxing Smokers, and he's one of their title holders. In addition to that, he just turned 18, so he's already had 5 Muay Thai bouts in Rhode Island, and he just turned 18, and here he is making his debut. So I expect some big things out of this kid kicking off the night. That's why I threw him in the number 1 spot.
The young bucks really keep getting younger. That's crazy to know that he's just turned 18. He's already got that kind of experience and making their debut at Cage Titans at a seasoned rate. And, I love what Jake Pilla's doing at a Gorilla Crew, and he's been producing some serious savages out of there. So I'm excited to see what Tyler Frizzle has to bring to the table, opening up Cage Titan 74. You never know what you're going to get with debuting amateurs. And as we talked about earlier on the fight card, might be top heavy towards the card at late end of the night, but a lot of debuting amateurs here, and those fights can be a treat. And it's been a while since we've had this many on a fight card. So
those amateurs,
the first of
those amateurs are interesting because it's either they're the first fight jitters, or they're not smart enough to know to be conservative yet. or I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something about those first fighters. But so that's the first fight of the night. Ryan Woodside, Darkside BJJ, taking on Tyler Frizzle from Gorilla Crew. Next up, we have another pair of debuts going at it. Tyler Messenger out of Savory BJJ, taking on Charlie Breslin out of Mohawk Martial Arts. Not a ton. You don't see a ton of a deep school from either one of these guys when it comes to fighters. But when you do see a guy come out of their school, you know that they're ready because they're not just throwing guys in all the time. Messenger has a few. It looks like he's a pretty accomplished grappler, and he's going to be grapple heavy. As for Breslin, wrestling base, some good hands. Fontecchio's got a school that's pretty well rounded with guys like Eder Gomes, Colin Houghton, Gavin O'Connell. So they're not a huge fight team. They got very well-rounded, tough individuals out of that school. And Danny Savory, his jiu-jitsu is legendary here in Massachusetts. So I'm sure we're going to see an interesting battle in this one.
Yeah, as you mentioned, few and far between do we see Savory BJJ participant in mixed martial arts, but that if they're throwing somebody in there, they're seasoned, ready to go. And Fontecchio has been throwing a bunch of names on the map, and they've been producing some exciting moments in there, win, lose, or draw. So though new, it's Mohawk Martial Arts has produced some viable moments throughout the past couple of years, and Charlie Breslin going to be the newest addition there. So excited to see how Tyler Messenger and Charlie Breslin meet in their debuts, respective against each other. Just like I said, not too often you get to see so many debuts facing off against each other. So Cage Titan 74 going to be an anomalous year, an anomalous card this year.
Yeah. And, out of the first 4 fights, 3 are going to be competed with 0, debuts versus debuts. But next up, our third fight of the night, David Diaz out of Diaz Karate. Number 1 top fan. Dad's a big top fan of the show. His son, David, debuted for Cage Titans last event. Didn't kind of go quite his way. He's back trying to get his first win, taking on Jack Noon. He's jumped around Jack Noon, a bunch of different schools. He's been New England Cartel, South Shore Sport Fighting, Lozon's. Now he's working with Pete Luciani over at Hook and Roll, trying to kind of follow up on the success of the Valdinas and Poiriers. So Jack Noon looking to get a win, taking on David Diaz out of Diaz Karate.
Yeah, and David Diaz had a fun scrap against Zach Converse last time out, and excited to see him bounce back, try to get in that win column against Jack Noon, who, like you mentioned, he's bounced around, but we've seen him in fights against some savages and been in some entertaining scraps. Win, lose, or draw, that Jack Noon's bringing it. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun fight between a couple of experienced amateurs looking to make a forward stride.
Yeah, on a note that I've talked about many times on the show, I love this because you look at a guy with 0-3 record, a 1-4 record. It's like, okay, but there's been so many guys in the history of Cage Titans that started off 0-3, 1-4, things like that, and have gone on to have great success. Richie Santiago, is one of the first names that come to mind. 0-3 in starting his career. Then he went on, won amateur titles, and competed all the way up. In that Dana White's Contender Series. Rob Font, I famously talk about. He made his debut at Cage Titans 2 and lost, and he was a top 5 UFC guy. So I love seeing when guys a fight like this where both records aren't stellar, but these guys are still grinding and still trying to stick with the sport, and then not haven't given up. Too many guys in the amateur ranks still lose one fight and you'll never hear from them again. These guys are grinding, and it shows me that they have the heart, the grit, the determination, and once things start clicking, the sky's the limit for these guys. So I think that's what we're going to get in this fight.
Indeed. Just a testament to the heart and the will of a fighter. I love it.
Yeah. Next up, we keep talking about the O&Os. This is our third fight out of 4 of debuts versus debuts. This one's Camden Black out of Dark Side BJJ taking on Moiz Azar. Did I say that right, Andy, you think?
I think so. I'm going to confirm on Friday, but Moiz Azar is how I would.
Triforce. Yep.
Moiz, I would pronounce it if I was going to guess, but I could be wrong too.
Yeah, Moiz Azar out of Triforce. Fun fact about this fight, I won't go too deep into it. Debuters, you get what you get, and you don't get upset. We're gonna see what these guys bring to the table. But fun fact about this one, this fight was actually scheduled for the last event. Camden Black had such a gnarly cauliflower ear when he was getting his pre-fight physical. His doctor refused to clear him, and then he went to one of the commission doctors, and that doctor refused to clear him as well. He was trying to fight through it. That's how fucked up this kid's ear was. That they not one but 2, because the first thing I was like, it's just probably your primary care doctor. He's not used to seeing it. It's no big deal. He's like, yeah, I can't believe he's not clearing me. I said, I'm going to send you to this doc. He's part of the commission. He sees this shit all the time. The doctor called me with him in his office. He's like, Mike, there's no way this kid's fighting this week. This is disgusting. So either way, it's a fun little fact about this fight. So they both agreed to push it back to this. The ears cleared up. The doctor note came in. He went to an ear specialist to get it drained in between the 2 doctors' visits, and he's still going to get cleared last event. But either way, they're both finally throwing down. So he had a little extra 8-week camp of motivation to beat the other up.
He's got to take a note from Josiah Fry and learn how to drain it in the mirror.
Well, that's the thing. He went to his doctor. The doctor drained it, or he set him up with an ear specialist to drain it. So I said, all right, cool. Now that it's drained, go back to the commission doctor. And the commission doctor was just like, yeah, he just got this drained and it looks fucking disgusting still. Like, there's no way his ear is gonna blow up. And if you've never seen a cauliflower ear blow up, I can tell you and I can assure you it's fucking disgusting.
Yep.
And Johnny Cupcakes Campbell, who's on the card later on, we were in Brazil, and his ear exploded, like inside outed. And I'm not talking about blood. Should I pull up the picture, Andy?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
It's
Well, how about
nasty.
this? I'm going to put a pin in this because I got to download the photo, send it to my thing. Why don't you talk about the next fight number 5, James Carn versus Tyler St. Jean?
Yeah, Tyler St. Jean. We saw him make his debut a couple shows ago against Anthony King, and it was a quick finish for Anthony King. So I'm glad to see Tyler St. Jean making a quick turnaround to bounce back after that. And he's going to be taking on Jim Carnes, who fought for us a number of years ago now, I want to say. It's been a few
He made
years.
his debut against Craig Jones.
Yeah, wasn't this Johnny Cupcakes' pupil?
It's one of his pupils. Yep.
Yes. So excited to see him make the return back. Both guys looking for their first win. Both have stepped in, kind of just like we were talking about a couple fights ago between Diaz and Noon. Guys that are hungry on the hunt for forward trajectory in the fight game in this sport, and just a testament to the will of a fighter to jump back in after a setback in their first performance. So I know that St. Jean is coming from Gorilla Crew, I want to say.
St. Jean is coming from Gorilla Crew, Jared St. Jean's brother.
Yes, Jared St. Jean, who obviously a seasoned pro. So, I'm excited to see him jumping back after that first initial setback. And from what I remember, Jim Carnes was kind of like a hobbyist who wasn't really trying to make a run at it, but I think it's fantastic to see him a few years later decide to step in again and try it. So I'm excited to know that they've both put the work in their off time, and looking forward to seeing they both return against each other in just a week.
Absolutely. All right. I need some people. I need a consensus. There's over 50 people watching right now. I need at least 10 of you to say, show me the picture right now before I show it. Cause I feel a little queasy showing you this, guys. So I need a little bit of a consensus to say that they want to see it. All right. You sure? We're getting one. Let's see. Let's see what we have. We get a couple picks. Show me the picks. All right. There's two. Show me the picks.
I'm a vote.
All right. Show it. Might make me quit BJJ, but it's fine. All right. Let's see who you guys really want to see. Let's see it. All right. We're getting a couple. Let's see it. I'm surprised. I think I've showed it on the show before. So just to set the table, we were talking about Camden Black versus Moise Azar. That fight got canceled.
If you watch the sport long enough, you're gonna see it eventually. I've seen it at least half a dozen times.
I disagree, Andy. I don't think anybody's seen this, and I'm telling you guys. Have you seen this happen before, Andy?
Yeah, Leslie Smith in the UFC.
Who?
It's happened in the UFC plenty of times.
Who?
Leslie Smith was probably the most famous one. Her ear literally blew up and was dangling off, and they stopped the fight because of it.
There you go. There's Johnny Cupcake's ear. Let's see if I have another. Let's see if I have another one. So that's his ear that was exploded. As I said to you guys, it wasn't a case of. Let me see if I have a better one. But I'm going to show this one, and then I'm going to try to get another better one. So that's the inside of his ear. So this is like the base and separated. Maybe this other picture will be a little better for you. So clearly, if you're queasy, don't watch right now. we just dropped a couple viewers, so maybe they were queasy. Here's another version of it. Oh, I wish I could zoom in on it. I guess I can't. That might be the best one that I showed you guys already. Let's see. I'm going to throw this one back in there. Let me see. I got one more picture for you guys. And let's see if that shows for you. Image file. Oh, yeah. This is the fucking one right here. Woo! It's like fucking separated. Can you hear me now? Good. So, yeah. Johnny Cupcakes down in Brazil. And then we went to the back room and they literally stitched him up in like an open air like triage spot. And there's like fucking flies coming in on it. It was a crazy experience. But yeah, this is a pretty gnarly one. And then this is the repair job that finished it. Sewed it all back up together.
That's amazing.
AJ, you can zoom in from home. All right, good. Yeah, pretty gnarly. I remember being there cornering Cupcakes, and I'm like, they're stopping the fight. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm screaming, like, what happened? What happened? No one tapped, nothing. And then I remember his ear just friggin' hanging. And I'm like, let me in the cage, and they won't let anybody in the cage. I'm like, it was wild. It was a wild experience, but we digress. Hope you enjoyed our little trip down memory lane. Johnny Cupcakes at Johnny Cupcakes' expense. Yeah. Drain those ears because his was hardened, and that's another. Sometimes when it's soft and you think it's just gonna bleed, and yes, that will bleed when it's soft and it will drain out. But like his was hardened over years, and that's what all that like disgusting yellow shit that you guys can see in one of those shots. That's just all the hardened stuff, cartilage underneath it. But anywho, next up, we talked about James Carnes, Tyler St. Jean. Somebody's getting their first win, and I know they're both very hungry for it. I think Carnes made his debut in 2022 or 2023. Tyler St. Jean just made his debut 2 events ago. Came up a little short, and he's hungry to get that win again. Next up, Ryan Daly out of Level Ground. Mike Rodriguez's gym. Weymouth High graduate Ryan Daly taking on Plymouth's own Brian Daviage out of Daniel Gracie, 1-1. This should be a fun fight at 180 pounds, the catch weight. Daviage versus Daly. Daly, lifelong hockey player, not a wrestler or anything like that. He was just a hockey player. He really enjoyed the sport of MMA, started training, found his way to Level Ground with Mike Rodriguez, and here he is a little short time later making his debut. As for Daviage, successful debut, and he was on the losing end of a highlight reel knockout. He's taking some time off, and he's pretty much sick of seeing that highlight getting played, and he's hoping to make a highlight for himself on the other end this time.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about this sport. We've seen Daviage on both sides of the coin, and like I said, he comes from a great school, and we're gonna see how he treats this new weight class coming down to 180 pounds. Just letting you know, dude. Yeah, 180 pounds. And then 180 pounds. And Daly coming to us from Mike Rodriguez's school. I think this is the first time we've seen someone repping Mike Rodriguez's school, Level Ground, at Cage Titans. So that's
absolutely. Yeah, he's had 1 or 2 fighters fight at other promotions, I believe Combat FC, but this is his first time that they've actually done it with us. So
that's kind of been a theme. That's kind of been a theme over the past couple of weeks. Is the shift of generations, kind of a theme of this card, where we got a lot of debuting fighters, all the way up to seasoned professionals at the top. And Mike Rodriguez was a prominent fighter on the local scene who fought at Cage Titans way back when, and made it all the way to the UFC. And now he's coaching the next generation. So it's super exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I made the note, Andy, on the weight. Sorry, I had 2 different weights on that, so I made the pick up that.
I didn't even have to say it, and you knew it. I didn't want to say it. I was like, "Oh shit, we're live." I'm not going to correct you there.
I got you, brother.
You already noticed it. All right, good.
Nice. So next up, our seventh fight of the night. Our seventh fight of the night. Another theme from earlier. somebody picking up their first win. We got Tyler DeFilippis out of Longos MMA looking to get his first win, taking on Javier Acosta out of Gorilla Crew, who's additionally looking for his first win. Javier has fought for us a couple times. Has had some exciting fights. He just hasn't seemed to get his hand raised. He was the guy on the opposite side of the highlight in his last fight against Jason Horowitz, where you had him on the ropes, and then, Andy, what was that like on cage side?
That was such a crazy fight. I love those 60-second wars like that, where it's just momentum shifts of that magnitude. And, Javier Acosta is dangerous, fast hands, quick, and trains at great camps. And would you please just chill? We got another half hour to do this here. You got to stop getting so emotional. And he's been in a couple of wars where he's got clipped. And another one who's making the bounce back, determined to get that first victory at Cage Titans to earn that moment. And Tyler DeFilippis, who is making the trek all the way back up from New York, teammate of Jason Horowitz, who's looking to create that moment for himself in his second outing at Cage Titans. So, yeah, somebody's always got to go. Somebody's going to get that rewarding moment of a Cage Titans victory in front of the Memorial Hall crowd. And those are some of the most honorable moments that I get to call. So looking forward to seeing who gets it.
Yeah. And this is a fight that immediately after that fight, DeFilippis kind of called for Acosta, and was like, that's who I want next. And, Acosta, this just made a ton of sense for him. Hey, a teammate of the guy that just beat me. Let's if you want it, let's do it. They kind of made this fight themselves as well in their Instagram DMs. So, they both want it. They both are obviously, they're asking for it. So I think that maybe there's something that in the other that they think they can expose. So it should be interesting to see. Be careful what you wish for is actually going to be a statement true for one of these guys. Which one's it going to be true for? Moving on to our 8th fight of the night, flyweight division. Pikachu Matt Martinez, back to basics, is back, taking on Jason Gomez out of Texera MMA. Andy, these guys got a lot of experience as amateurs, 4-3, 2-1. Both come from great camps. What do you think about this fight?
Yeah, as we were saying, we're seeing all facets of MMA right here, where we've got those debuting versus debuting, people looking for their first win with that wealth of experience, towards guys that have fought the upper echelon of the division and are looking to try to get their title shot or on their title run themselves. Matt Martinez has spent so much time in the Cage Titans cage fighting the who's who. Excuse me. And super exciting, super fast, well-rounded. And we know that Texera MMA has brought forth some talented individuals all the way up from Danbury, Connecticut. And Jason Gomez is just the latest one to make that trek up here from the school in Connecticut. Don't know much about him yet. He hasn't performed in front of us, but he's 2-1. Comes from a school that trains nothing but savages. So we're going to see these two meet at the top of the division at 125 pounds. And whoever wins this fight could be facing the winner of the title fight that's happening later in the night. So big implications at the amateur ranks between this fight, which is kind of like that bridging amateur level between the debuting fighters towards the title picture.
Yeah. And absolutely, these guys are that next tier. If it wasn't for Josiah and Fry, 2 undefeated studs, these guys very well could be fighting for a title. And to give you a little insight on Gomez, because he's new to Cage Titans. We all know Pikachu. His only loss came to a 6-2 guy, champion out of New York. So and he went to a hard fought split decision with him. So he does have a loss, but it's an impressive loss, I guess. One of those ones where both guys come out looking impressive. So Jason Gomez taking on Matt Pikachu Martinez. Next up, this fight is going to be insane. the number 9 fight. I'm not even Andy. You tell us because I am not.
Urgliev.
What does it go again?
Urgliev.
Bekzat Urgaliev out of Watch
Urgliev.
City. Out of Watch
I'd say
City.
Urgliev.
Urgliev out of Watch City taking on 3-2. The mailman Kane Schneider out of Nitsuj MMA. Kane took this fight on a week and a half notice when Ryan Parmenter pulled out. We've seen the mailman in title fights with Cage Titans. We've seen him take people out viciously. This guy always delivers. The mailman delivers. As for Beck, he's 1-1, but don't let that fool you. His loss was a decision loss to Blaze Nichols, champion of Combat FC, a guy who's fought for us before out of Kyle Bokniak's school, an absolute stud. And the fact that he went to a decision with Blaze Nichols shows the toughness and grit in this guy. So I'm pretty stoked for this fight. I was excited to see Bekzat make his Cage Titans debut. And I'm even a little more excited now that it's going to be against the mailman, Kane Schneider.
Yeah, indeed. Bekzat Urgliev coming to us from the Czech Republic, from what I'm seeing here. So I'll get all that confirmed pronunciation and where he's from this weekend. So, as you mentioned, he's got a wealth of experience this early in his amateur career, and we know that Kane Schneider is already at the upper echelon of the division, who's put forth exciting fights, fought for the title, and is 1-1 away from finding himself right back at the top of the title picture as well. So an exciting fight with big implications at the amateur ranks here, and like you said, just pertaining to the theme of escalating stakes.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, it's fun to find this on this card, where it is on this card, because we mentioned that last fight that could be for a future flyweight title, whoever wins out of Jason Gomez and Matt Martinez. And here we are right after it. Same implications. The winner of this fight could easily slide into the next number 1 contender at the bantamweight division when you have Bekzat and Kane Schneider. So these end of the undercard fights have huge implications on them. And that just goes right into our last fight on the undercard, our 10th fight of the night. Talk about as big as they can get. Carter Whitty, Mr. Highlight Reel himself, taking on Jacob Callender from Back to Basics, undefeated Jacob Callender. Andy, you've watched both of their careers, all their fights with Cage Titans. What do you think of this matchup?
2 finishers with big wins, big momentum, and big prowess in their divisions. So I'm a fan of both of them. I think they've got a contrast in styles where Carter Whitty's the explosive, dynamic, what the fuck just happened kind of approach, where Callender's swarm of control and execution of certain pathway to ascertain a finish. So you're going to see 2 different approaches to their respective strategies of putting their opponent away. And it's going to make for an exciting fight, as it is rightfully billed at the top end of the undercard. Jay Callender has not tasted defeat yet, and Carter Whitty, through ups and downs, is capable of, in the most violent Carter Whitty, he's capable of putting anybody away without anybody in the hall knowing how that happened, because it happened so fast and so violently and so effectively. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of both, and it's just one of those amateur fights that really helps me get up in the morning. I love it.
Yeah, man, I love it as well. What a great fight. I'm super stoked for this one. And it shows the depth of the amateur ranks around here. And it really shows the strength of the amateur program, where these guys when I started Cage Titans, guys like this would just kind of stay in their own promotion so that they can be the king of their own pond. And now I think that we've built Cage Titans to a level where our amateur titles, I've said this for a long time, we are the amateur title. If you you can hold all the belts, but when you hold the Cage Titans title, you are the king of the castle here in New England. So, these guys fighting, they could go pick up a belt somewhere else and just to say that they were an amateur champion. But they're striving to be the best in New England, and they're taking each other's on in non-title fights. That's just the magnitude of these guys fighting and the magnitude of this matchup. So I'm pretty stoked for it as well.
The crowd deserves it, and these guys deserve the crowd.
And is that what we went with? We decided both their nicknames last week on the show. Is it the most violent Carter Whitty and
Jungle Boy?
Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy, Jacob Calendar. I like it. So, the most violent Carter Whitty is
Jungle Boy.
And they're both very suited. So,
love it. All right.
And then we go right into the amateur title
right
fights.
To the main card, Andy. Set the table for us, brother. First amateur title fight. Go for it.
They just go up in weights. We're starting off with the flyweights, the undefeated flyweights, Cal Dalton, Josiah Fry. We've seen them produce dynamic finishes of dominant fashion, whether it's the quickness and explosiveness of Cal Dalton or the drowning pace that Josiah Fry puts on. And neither has shown too many cracks in their game, two of them at the peak of the amateur ranks, and just as exciting of an amateur title fight as you can come to fruition. Both undefeated, both at the prime level of confidence, and we talked about it in the lead up. Will you please give me an extra 15 minutes to break this down and stop being dramatic? We talked about this in the lead up, where so many years ago, even before I was working here, when Chris Mutino fought Manny Bermudez, when Chris fought Don Shanis, when we've had a bunch of those fights where Manny Bermudez taking on Tony Gravely, where both guys would end up fighting in the UFC in the big stage at early stages in their career, where we had no idea that that's where they could go. And this one feels like one of those fights where you're seeing two young athletes with an expansive amount of potential taking on each other at this stage in the career, which is only helping both of their potentials. And it's going to be a great lesson for both of them as they go on. And whoever wins, or win, lose, or draw for both guys, this is a fight that's going to set them up for bigger things going on in their career, because they're taking on a challenge of this magnitude at this stage in their career at the amateur title ranks. So I'm excited for both of them. They're both shown nothing but dominance and nothing but pure confidence that is justified for both of them as undefeated amateurs. And that's just what makes these amateur fights so electrifying in there, because everything's at stake, but nothing's at stake, because you're at the peak of the pond before you enter the lake with the river to the ocean as you enter the professional ranks. So it's like the baddest guppies are going at it before they get released into the sharks. And I love it.
It's funny when you bring that down. Like, we talked about it earlier when we had both guys on the show. It's like you look back, and there's fight promotions that will graduate guys to the UFC. And usually I saw, the big selling point is you saw them here first before they made it big to the UFC. And it's true, but it's usually you saw him here first fighting somebody that he whipped the shit out of. And, and the guy never amounted to anything. We've seen many of matchups at Cage Titans. You named Gravely versus Bermudez, Bermudez versus Mutino versus Sheamus, Peter Barrett versus TJ Brown, who won UFC contracts on the same exact night. Yeah. We've seen guys that have fought other UFC guys before they made it to the UFC at Cage Titans, which is incredible. And I don't know if people grasp that. a lot of promotions will say that they've got guys to the UFC, and that's true. But there's not a lot of times you'll look at two guys that are UFC and say, I saw them both fight each other at a local show. And we've had that happen a few times. I definitely think that this could be one of those matchups that, you don't know that today. And we didn't know that, 8 years ago when Barrett fought TJ Brown or Motino and those, we didn't know it then. But 8 years from now, we could be looking back at that matchup and being like, that's added to the list of the guys who've gone to the UFC from Cage Titans. But these are guys who were both in the UFC that fought each other at Cage Titans.
We're talking about guys that are fighting, making their Cage Titans debut when they just turned 18. It's like these guys are seasoned at the amateur ranks, but they just got out of college like last week. They're kids. They're barely dipping their toes in the water yet. So give it 3 years. They fight this, maybe defend a title. If not, they're both ready to make it pro soon. In a couple of years, when they're reaching a different prime at the professional levels, you're going to be looking back at Cage Titans 74 to see where they met on November 15th.
Absolutely. And there could be some other stakes in all these fights that we've been looking back at, and it shows how deep these amateur titles have been. We've talked about guys that have held them and they've gone on to great success. Ian Barrett this weekend is going to be fire. Yes. And actually you bring up a great point, Ian. I messaged all the coaches on Friday saying that I would have matchups over the weekend. I had a few hiccups with Cage Titans that I had to get to ahead of it. But tonight I will be penciling all the matchups together. Tomorrow we will be sending out messages to all coaches with matchup pitches for Ring Titans 2. My goal is by Wednesday to have the entire fight card. We already have an amateur title fight on Ring Titans 2 that we have booked that we're going to announce on Saturday. But I'm hoping to have, all the fights matched. I think I mentioned last week, as of right now, we are at 64 names that I'm shifting through and trying to make the best matchups. So tonight I'll be doing the penciling matchups, and then we'll be issuing them out to coaches tomorrow. And once we get confirmations, the goal is all fights confirmed by Wednesday so that we're going into fight night with the entire fight card. We'll roll out the entire fight card on this coming Saturday. We'll go tickets live on sale this upcoming Saturday, and we're going to have some of you fighters come inside the cage to announce Ring Titans 2 and your matchups at intermission. So hang tight, my Ring Titans fans. 64 names was and figuring out all their experience, because this is new to me as well. So we're going to get those matchups out to all the coaches tomorrow. So thank you, Ian. We look forward to seeing you this weekend.
That's a shitload of names for a Muay Thai card. I like it.
Yep, absolutely. So we talked to Josiah Fry, Calvin Dalton, talking about fights with big stakes as well. Thurman Hargrove out of Zichelli, talking about young studs that haven't even been around long and they're already making huge names. Ash Rao, the White Tiger, undefeated Ash Rao, champion, defending champion. He's done it all, and he's done it kind of quiet. So Ash is not one to be big on the microphones, but what is it? What is that quote? Talk soft, carry big
soft,
stick.
but carry a big stick.
Is that
That's a Theodore Roosevelt.
Ash Rao definitely does that. There you go. What do you think about this fight, Andy? You've seen him up close.
I love it. These are upper echelons of the division. We saw Thurman Hargrove coming off a loss to Kerdu Lanes, who was originally slated for this title shot, but that didn't fall. That didn't come to fruition for him serving in the military. So we're wishing him the best in his next endeavors, as unfortunate as it is that fight didn't go through. But impressive in that showing was Thurman Hargrove, who, like you mentioned, kind of a young phenom. He's battle tested at the amateur ranks, really young. He's 19, 20 years old, if that. I think he mentioned last week he just turned 20. So super young in the career, but great composure. I think he's got a great attitude and a great mentality going into this, trying to learn from the mistakes that he made in his last fight and capitalizing on this opportunity to take on the very stoic and undefeated Ash Rao, who, whether he fights or not, he shows up on weight. He's just a professional to the core in how he approaches things, and it exemplifies in his performances. No matter what adversity gets thrown his way, he keeps his composure, finds a way to solve the puzzle, and achieve victory through finish or through dominance. So that's why he's undefeated. That's why he's the champion, and he doesn't need to be vocal about it. His performances speak for themselves, and he's a tactician in there who's a true problem solver on the fly and fascinating to watch. So I think they're going to have a contrast in grappling styles that are going to serve each other if whoever executes better. And that's what makes these title fights so engaging. It's a matter of execution based off of what you know leading into it. And I'm excited to see how they meet because they've both exhibited tremendous prowess as martial artists in there. So, another outstanding amateur title fight.
Absolutely. As you're texting me, shout out to the hand Leo Ladera. Just sent me 5 more names for Ring Titans. So,
Nice.
as I mentioned, the 60-something names, I'm still getting names. But, yeah. Moving on to our 170 welterweight title, Emilio Marquez, undefeated 5-0, coming to us from Colorado. Teammates of Isaiah Torres, battling the champ, Jaden Curley. Not many people looking to step up and take on Jaden Curley. Emilio got the offer, and he said, I'm down. Let's go. So
making the trek up from Colorado, putting the goose egg on the line, undefeated. He's got a few finishes under his belt already. Looks dangerous, fully framed for this 170-pound weight class. And if he's like Isaiah Torres has had one of the most as gangster performances you can get, and so if he's on that cut from the same cloth, you know that he's bringing it against Jake Curley, who would want to fight him after seeing his highlight reel and what he's capable of doing with the wrestling background and the power that he's demonstrated as well. So he's the full package at 170 pounds, the wrestling pedigree, and the damage that he can accrue with his hands when he puts them on you. Nobody should be wanting to sign up to fight him, but here we have Emilio Marquez signing up to take a flight out to fight him. So that's just what makes this the pinnacle of the amateur fights for Cage Titan 74. Jay Curley's got a fan base that's going to be electrifying, and Emilio Marquez has the opportunity to take all of that energy back home to Colorado with him with that belt. An exciting fight, dynamic finishers on both sides with well-rounded skill sets, and just keeping up with the theme of escalation.
There we go. Yeah, I'm super stoked for this matchup. This is one of those matchups. Emilio's name kind of came to me like maybe a pro debut as well. And I know Jaden's been eyeing some pro after this one potentially. So this would be a great fight to kind of give themselves a final test before making that jump into the pro pool. And I think both guys are going to be ready. I think both guys, Jaden has always been competing with one, most of his, 4 toes in the wrestling pool and 1 toe in MMA as he was finishing out his college career. But he's graduated this past year. It's all toes in, all in on this MMA thing now. So I think he's just going to level up, and we'll see some good things out of him.
Indeed. Right. He's got all the ingredients to make a dangerous recipe. So these are the challenges that are good for anybody at this stage in their career.
Perfect. Next up, our first pro fight of the night, Aaron Hughes, Tom Santos, 2 longtime competitors with Cage Titans. Tom, we talked about earlier, has fought around the entire world, held title belts in all over the world. Is yet to get that first victory on U.S. soil, which he's come to Cage Titans a few times, and he's yet to get it. He's super hungry for it. He has moved to the United States to level up his training. There's that word again, level up. But he has moved to the States, looking to upgrade his training, and he's really excited about trying to get this win in Cage Titans. He feels that he just hasn't been able to show us who he truly is. And you know what? I'll take the heat for it. We haven't really done him any favors. He's gotten the killer's row of opponents. But in this matchup against Aaron Hughes, a guy who's very similar, he hasn't had the best results in the win column, but we know the potential is there. And we know underneath the record there is a great competitor and a great skill fighter there. We just have the fans haven't seen it recently when it has shown up in the win column. So I think these guys are both in the same exact situation. It's a fight on a completely stacked card that you might be like, why should I care about this fight? But I'm telling you, like, both guys are extremely talented, and they have all the makings. It's just they haven't been able to put it together yet inside the cage at Cage Titans. And we're gonna have a coming out party for one of these guys, and I'm happy to see it for I'd love to see both guys pull it out, but I'm happy to see at least one's gonna be able to catapult with a victory here.
Yeah, and they're both deserving of that moment. Win, lose, or draw, they're going to bring it. As you mentioned, Tom Santos, who's fought around the globe and had his success in other corners of our planet. He's found a home at Cage Titans. I know there's that language barrier there when communicating with them. He's determined to get that moment for himself at Memorial Hall. Because we are Cage Titans, and he's been a part of Cage Titans for a number of years now. And like you said, he's been through the killer's row at Cage Titans. And Aaron Hughes is someone else who's been through the killer's row at Cage Titans. And he's had those big moments. And having him be so transparent last week, where this is kind of a do or die type of point at his career, where he doesn't get through Tom Santos, he's ready to hang them up and call it a career himself. And Santos is probably at that point as well. So they're both deserving of that chance to ride out into the sunset with the win, or to start that late career trajectory against one another. So that's what makes this fight super exciting, in between the amateur title fights and the 3 title fights that we have going on afterwards at the professional ranks. So certainly a legacy fight between both of them. Grateful for the moments they both produced in there. And I like that legacy fight between Santos and Hughes.
Nice. Before we move on, Joe Penafiel, the party, has entered the chat. I'm ready to kill this hoe. He has texted me looking for the link, so that's why I threw it up in the comments. So we might get a party crasher. Oh, and right on cue. Oh, look at the man himself.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Look at that.
I see that vicious dog you got over there. I seen that thing take out 2 kids. That dog, I love that dog. Andy, you gotta be
He's come a
careful
long
with that
way.
dog. It's gonna you're gonna have to put a thing on it, a Bane mask on that dog. That thing's scary.
He's come a long way. He's mature enough.
Mike, listen, there was people so scared of the last time I was there, because the dog was there and he was like very hyper, or she was very hyper. So I was like, listen, I know exactly what it needs. So I saw like you guys have all those gloves. So I threw it like an extra large or something. And everybody's like, who the fuck gave that glove to the dog? I'm like, shut up. The dog needs something to bite. Leave him alone. He's cool right now.
If we're short a pair of extra large gloves, I know who I'm coming for.
Shit. No, I love you guys. Oh, I'm just can't wait. Everybody tune in November 15th, this Saturday. The best regional promotion in the fucking country, Cage Titans. We're going to go at this, and it's going to be so fun to finally get this fight over with. I know he's shitting his pants. He's sending all types of messages, and I have my young Padawan here, my girlfriend here, sending him messages back and forth. He spends his time online, and he's insane that he thinks that I could give a fuck. I'm 40 years old for a reason, and everyone that really knows me knows that I don't do shit but train, eat, sleep, MMA, and I just happen to have a couple other jobs because I have kids and other shit. But this is what I do 24/7. And Jay has now crossed the fucking line that it's not gonna go back. It's gonna be fun for me. Trust me, I've been putting in the work. He can have a 6 pack all he wants, but I'm gonna have the pace to break this kid. It's gonna be beautiful. All these fights have been leading to this fight. Like every loss, everything to me. He's the type of guy that quits and cries and fucking he's on fucking UFC crying, quitting when he's like 28, 29 because he lost a couple fights. That's the type of guy he is. I'm the type of guy that goes out there and gives it my all and goes out on my fucking shield if it has to be that way. And it's going to be great for the fans and for everyone to watch. It's going to be a hell of a fight, 5 rounds of a grudge match. It's something particularly different and something that only Cage Titans can bring to the local MMA fans. So anyone locally that knows about this doesn't have to be for a title. It doesn't have to be for a little shiny belt. I don't want a gold medal. I don't want anything but just the W by any means necessary. And that's all I want. I'm gonna do everything I need to do, wrestle, whatever the fuck. Well, it's not gonna be a boring fight. Mark my words, Joe Penafel, lose, win, it will never be a boring fight. Never has been in my whole career. He will have to fight and he will have to beat me. He will have to out wrestle me. He will have to outstrike me. And I haven't seen shit. I'd rather be 80-year-old me than 20-year-old Jay Perrin anytime. That's how confident I am. I don't give a shit. 40 years old, whatever the fuck he says, I'm the best. And that's why I fight guys that he would never fight. He's lucky Randy's not from New York or somewhere a little further away because Randy would have fought him by now. But since he has to suck dick, he can't fight anyone in his hometown. He uses that as an excuse. I don't think he ever fought Moutinho. He won't fight any dangerous guy. That's his MO. Not me. I've given myself up to this sport, and sometimes as a fucking lamb out there fighting at 145 versus true 145ers, all types of shit, broken hands, everything. I can't wait for everyone. I just wanted to give everyone a shout out. Thank you to Cage Titans for putting this together. And I got one more thing to say. Dreams come true. Hard work pays off. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. I'm signing out. I love everybody. I love I just can't wait. I don't even want to talk about it. When I get there, everyone will see and feel the energy. I haven't had this much passion for a fight, and he's just so stupid that he keeps involving me like in his emotional shit. I'm like, if he wants to involve me more, I'm already retarded. Mike knows me well. Fighting DUIs, fighting all types of cases just this year alone. There's so many things that I'm grateful for Mike as a person more than a promoter, and people don't need to know about that. Same thing with other people. Managers have had to get me out of jail. So it's gonna be a war. I don't care what people think. I don't care what people say. I thought it was crazy that Johnny Cupcakes thought that Jay was gonna just out wrestle me and do what Johnny knows what's up. He was in the fucking air in 2 minutes into that fight, breaking his shoulder. I don't care if it was broken before. It was easy work. No one can fuck with me at my age, and no one will fuck with me. Any 31-year-old, it's gonna be over. Just because I want to win that bad. It's over. I love everyone. Like I said, I'm trying to get out of this mood because I'm gonna relax and I'm gonna jerk off and have my fucking girlfriend here right next to me. I'm gonna be the most relaxed I've ever been, and I'm gonna cause chaos in his world like I have been. Like he's been online. Everyone tells me he's online just mentioning me, and I can't wait because none of his shit is gonna matter. Okay, he acts like he has a college degree or something. I don't know if he does, but if he does, he's a dumbass. Okay, he doesn't have no vocabulary. He's talking about all this other shit. I speak and I talk because I came from a place from the gutter. My parents came from a third world country. I was delivering fucking Chinese food as like a 6-year-old working with my parents. There were dishwashing, delivery, bus boys, all types of shit. My whole family worked at this one particular place. Jay has been through his own shit, but he's just awakening more of my trauma, and it's just gonna come back and I'm gonna fuck him up. mark my words. You guys know I never, even when I'm out of shape, like the Randy fight and all these other fights, sometimes I'm out of shape and I'll just show up. And you already know it's still going to be a fight. It doesn't matter if I get head kicked 10 seconds into a fight by a head kick artist. I still stand up and I still win the third round. And this isn't going to be that. It's going to be a different type of party, vintage 1986 fucking red wine, specially made from Sicily. I'm bringing some. It's gonna be amazing. But I love you guys. I'm signing off. All right.
All right,
Peace,
siesta.
guys.
Take it easy, party.
That's what I'm calling promo. That's what
That homecoming is you
That's
fraudulent mother. All right, that's enough of that one. That's enough of that.
I'm gonna fucking bring a revelation level reckoning to you.
The only reason, if I was there, he would be really quiet. He would still say his because he knew there was people in between us. But it really doesn't matter. Hey, don't worry about it. November 15th, I'm bringing extra pillows. I'm bringing a blanket. I'm going to tuck you in. I'm going to coddle you. I'm going to hug you. And then slowly but surely, we're going to put you to sleep.
Just a guy that can take a good punch in his face. And at the end of the day, I've proven time and time again against guys that are just good at getting punched in the face that they need fucking more.
Damn. Well, it's fight week. There it is. I can't hear you. You're muted. Microphone died? Can't hear you. You just...
Change.
There it is. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, mic change. I'll have to plug that one in for later. But anyways, oh man, these guys are amazing on the mics. Like they just both speak. Like man.
You didn't have to do shit.
Excited.
You don't got to do shit.
Yeah.
It's. We've talked about it sometimes. You got to get to the gab, you don't. Some people you got to pry an answer out of. You don't even have to say anything. Just go.
Christ.
It's a waterfall of words, and there's no stopping the ball rolling. It's a fucking avalanche.
Come out to the presser on Thursday, for
What was
sure.
that?
Come
What?
out to the presser on Thursday.
Yeah, no question about it. It's going to be entertainment value, regardless. So, yeah, that's our main event, our one half of it right there.
Yeah, come out to the presser on Thursday. I threw it up there again. That's why I played the video. These guys get me jacked up. Before we get to our final 3 title fights, Brian Russell, couple end of the year. Brian Russell will also be on the Ring Titans. I said it earlier. I know I got to repeat myself because people come and go. All the names for Ring Titans are in. I actually just got 5 more as I'm sitting online, but we shut off all names. Tonight, I'm doing all the pencil matchups. Tomorrow, we'll be sending them out to coaches for approval. So we hope that the entire card is matched by Wednesday and confirmed so that we can announce the entire fight card on Saturday at Cage Titans, as well as tickets on sale, posters, and all that. So that's the rundown on that. But back to Cage Titans this upcoming Saturday. Next up, we talked about Santos and Aaron Hughes. Now we have the OG title, Johnny Cupcakes Campbell, a real OG of Cage Titans, but not by title in terms of having the belt around his waist. That title and belt is property of Kenny Champion, 45, 46 years young. He's looking to defend his OG title after he won that from Greg Jones early in the year. Johnny Cupcakes, almost 50 fights across his career. A guy that's been
And he froze. Yes. So, yeah, Johnny Cupcakes Campbell, 50 fights throughout his career, fought on Cage Titans, won, held the title, former Cage Titans champion, an absolute legend at Plymouth Memorial Hall, and Kenny Champion, who held the amateur championship, had a prominent run as a professional, just late stage in life, making a run, but still wanting the most prominent challenges at this stage in his career. So part of that challenge was ascertaining the OG title belt, where she is going to defend against the OG of OGs at Cage Titans. So it's a captivating fight. They're both still dangerous as professionals across all levels of competition. They're just both at a point in their career where they just because they're at the twilight of a fighter's age, they're still at peak performance levels and should be performing as such because of their love for the sport and for what the sport has done for both of them in their lives. So you listen to them both talk about it and why it's important to continue to compete. And it's just like we've mentioned, just seeing debuting fighters to fighters that are at the peak of their career trying to get that call to the big show. And then you got the OG title fights where they've been there, done that, nothing to prove on either side of it other than continuance of love for the sport. And that's what makes the OG title fight so captivating, because neither guy has anything to prove. They're both already cemented their respective legacies. It's just, why not? They both love competing. They're both available. And this is just another challenge on a long list of challenges that they both overcome as martial artists. So, that's the OG title fight.
Absolutely. Also, I've always talked about how Kenny has really done a lot for his community and being a proud representation of the mixed martial arts community and Cage Titans. I wanted to give him a shout out today. He just posted this an hour ago, purchased his first home. So I big ambassador for his community. And I love seeing stuff like this. And it's just, his star is going to shine, long after he's done competing in the cage, doing things for his community and really giving, like he said when he was on the show, kids hope that they can do more and get out there and do things, growing up in the community that they grew up in, they can get out of it and do things like he's doing. So shout out to Kenny Champion, bought his first home today. So, and he fights this weekend, so it could be a big week for him. Yeah,
indeed. Big congratulations to the OG champion, Kenny Champion, and looking forward to seeing him this weekend, defending that belt against Johnny Cupcake Campbell. A lot of admiration for both of their careers and the performance that they put on, and as always, excited to see how they meet in the middle.
Yeah, and though Party and Perrin might be taking the center stage at the presser this week, I should say, fellow press conference attendees, Wonder Bread Warrior and Isaiah Torres, the champion Isaiah Torres, they will be present at the press conference, and they're the next fight we're going to talk about. Andy.
Yeah, and it's the co-main event for the professional flyweight championship. Isaiah Torres winning that belt in impressive fashion over Joe Poirier, his last time out with a lightning fast submission, and Casey Norton, who also has a fantastic win over the same opponent, Joe Poirier, has been clamoring for this fight for a while and wants that gold, is deserving of it, has beaten the most prominent at the division at Memorial Hall, and is going to be vying for the gold against the very dangerous Isaiah Torres. So they're both right in line for Contender Series call in the next year of things, should they get a win, and with the time and place, another defense for whoever does win would cement them as top prospect no matter what. So huge stakes in this fight at 125 pounds against two of the best at the division. So they both neither minced for words whatsoever, but their skill pretty much do the talking. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and a fun fact, I was talking about this fight earlier. Actually, I have to go backwards for a second. Kenny Champion, I was reading this comment as I was taking the screen down. His birthday's actually Sunday, the day after the fight. Born in 79. So what's that make him? 40? He'll be 46?
45. He'll be 46 Sunday.
The day after the fight. So anyways, but One thing I was talking to this fight earlier with some of the guys in Spectation, and I realized Casey Norton has beaten the last two guys that have fought for Cage Titans titles. His last win was against Justin Valentin, who challenged for the flyweight title against Mitch Raposo before Mitch Raposo went on to the UFC. Then he also beat Joe Poria, who just challenged for the title in his loss against Isaiah Torres. So, he doesn't have a huge, robust record, and people like 5-2. This is a real 5-2. This isn't a fluff 5-2. This guy is a real 5-2 with real fights at high levels. Another interesting thing that kind of came out in our talks earlier today with Spectation is that, we, over the years, in 15 years, we kind of built ourselves on, locals fighting locals in the early days. Then we kind of expanded where we were locals fighting out of staters. And then last year we kind of broke into where it was, we don't care where you're from. If it's a good fight, we'll put it on. We had a guy like Simone and Luis Pena. And this is pretty close to that when you have a champion from Colorado fighting the number one contender who's from Connecticut. No one really deeply rooted here at Cage Titans with multiple fights like you see with guys like Valdina and Jack Congdons and things like that. So another interesting twist of this and an evolution of Cage Titans. I plead with our fans. I know you might be staying around for a party in Perrin. This fight is as high level as you can get. And we talked earlier about like guys that might be in the UFC later when in the amateur ranks. These guys are on the cusp right now in the pro ranks. A win here, you absolutely could see them on the contender next year. So huge stakes at hand for this, guys.
Yeah, the stakes couldn't be higher. And that's just customary with the professional title fights that have been going. We've been going an hour and a half. And we got one
we
fight.
We don't even have to talk about this fight. Party Parent, it's finally fucking here, guys. Finally here.
Finally here. Yeah, the build-up's there. The press conference is Thursday. They'll do the talking, and then they'll do the fist flying come Saturday night. Both prominent champions in the history of Cage Titans. Both have had electrifying career on bigger stages through Cage Titans, and they're both returning to Cage Titans to settle the beef that has been years in the making, and I couldn't be happier that it's happening finally. I'm a big fan of both of them. A lot of respect for both of them. My commentary broadcast partner, Jay Perrin, versus my favorite Floridian, Joe Peñafiel. This is a big-time emotional fight for me, and I'm just excited to see it come to fruition. Whatever happens, happens. And it's just going to be a lot of fun because they're both at points of excellence in their careers.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for this. It's a fight that's been building for years. It almost became my Khabib and Ferguson of a fight that would never happen. Never say never. And it finally happened. It's finally happened. It's going down this upcoming Saturday night. Andy, before I do my normal spiel at the end of the show and fight week rundown, any parting words from you about the card or anything going on this weekend?
No, not at all. This is just business as usual. I'm excited to just have one show to do this weekend. It's we've been at this a long time. And hey, chill. I need 5 more minutes. 5 more fucking minutes. Can you just chill? You've been doing good. But last show took a lot of extra recovery after the back-to-back nights. It was a lot. So this is just business as usual. Seems I'm looking forward to getting back to Plymouth. I always say Plymouth is my second home. Main Street definitely become my second home as a resident in there on Saturdays playing music, and look forward to the press conference on Thursday there, and the weigh-ins at our new venue on Friday at the Wolves Den, where Ring Titans 2 is going to be taking place, and then Cage Titans closing out the year at Memorial Hall on Saturday with some of these fights that we just talked about, top to bottom. You're getting all levels of mixed martial arts. There's no reason you shouldn't want to be the first one in the door there. Get your tickets off your fighters as soon as possible before they cut the weight this week. This weekend we're just hitting all areas of the Cage Titans nation and closing out the year strong in what's been a true monumental year for the organization, I believe, because of the level of fights we've put on, the strides we've put on, the new sport that we've trickled into, and new venues. It's just been a crazy year, and it's just knowing that this is the last one. It's like this is the dessert, and the cherry on top's coming next month, and a whole nother calendar turn before we're on to the next. The ball keeps rolling. It never gets old. And I'm stoked for fight weekend as I am every fucking fight weekend. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I love blood. I fucking love violence in legal form. So, yes, this is it.
I like it in illegal form as well.
Yeah, I think there should be brand. We should. I love that. Like, this sport needs to be regulated by the state because it's illegal to assault somebody. So we need the variances in the law to grant someone a license to fight someone. If only politics could be handled that way a little bit more. I think some of these empty suits need to get smacked around in the cage a little bit more. But yes, legal violence is a beautiful fucking thing.
Bill Mahoney used to always say to me, "You're driving down the street and a soccer game breaks out. No one's stopping. Driving down the street, a fight breaks out, everybody's stopping and watching. There's just something pure and beautiful about the competition aspect of a fight, fisticuffs, primal."
That's what I've always said. If you're watching a baseball game, if you go to any baseball game, you're sitting at the crowd and, oh, yeah, he's winding up for the pitch. But what's somebody made a layup in a basketball game, or 3-yard run in a football, whatever it is. Somebody made a nice chip on a golf course. People are engaged. They're kind of like, ooh, okay, cool. But a lot of people are going to get a hot dog. Not everybody's paying attention. It's not the biggest place and nobody's caring. But then if somebody charges the mound, everyone stops what they're doing when they're at that baseball game and watches that fight break out on the mound. Two basketball players start throwing down. The crowd goes fucking nuts over bigger than any three that lands. Well, what happens in hockey? You're a hockey player. I've never been on skates in my life, but what makes hockey so exciting? They get to beat the shit out of each other from time to time. It is primal. This is art. This is poetry in motion. This is not a sport. These are mixed martial artists. Art plays to the soul. Games don't. Fights do.
Let's go, Andy. That's his soapbox. You know what? I was going to take some time at the end to talk to you guys. Andy's summed it up beautifully for me. Shout out to Mr. Valdina. Just shot me a quick text. I got to update the website with the locations of the presser and the weigh-ins. Again, I'm going to bring it up real quick. Press conference this upcoming Thursday, Main Street Sports. Friday, weigh-ins live with Lynch at Wolves Den in Pembroke, our new venue for Ring Titans. It's going down in December. Pre-game bash, Cage Titans 74, Second Wind Brewing. And once I get off air, I'll finish updating the website, so that will be all there. Hit up your tickets this week. Get your tickets early, often. Also, get your hall passes. If you don't know what that is, hall pass, basically you get to skip the line. You get in an hour early before general admission doors open. You get pick the best seats that you got. Those are not familiar. It's well worth it. We only sell 100, so it's not open to whoever wants to pay. It's very limited to the first 100 people that buy hall passes, and it's a skip the line pass. You don't know what the weather's going to be like this weekend. You want to skip the line. You want to make sure you get front row in the mezzanine. You want to skip the line. Yeah, if you know where you want to sit, hall passes are essential to enhance your experience if you don't like waiting in lines. And Ring Titans, my final thing for Ring Titans will be this. Right after I get off air, I'm first going to update the website for this weekend's events. But then I'm going to pencil in all my matchup ideas off the 60-something names that I have. Tomorrow, offers will go out to all the coaching staff so that we have all acceptance, hopefully by Tuesday/Wednesday. Fight card will be set by Wednesday. We'll announce the full fight card on Saturday, Cage Titans. We're going to bring some fighters in to announce their fights in particular. And that's all. Oh, and tickets will go on sale for Ring Titans on Saturday. So I got nothing else. See you Thursday at the press conference. As they say, be there, be square.
Indeed. Cheers, everybody. It's fight week. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
That homecoming is you fraudulent mother. All right, that's enough of that one. That's enough of that.
I'm gonna bring a revelation level reckoning to you.
The only reason, if I was there, he would be really quiet. He would still say his because he knew there was people in between us. But it really doesn't matter. So, hey, don't worry about it. November 15th, I'm bringing extra pillows. I'm bringing a blanket. I'm going to tuck you in. I'm going to coddle you. I'm going to hug you. And then slowly but surely, we're going to put you to sleep.
It's the guy that can take a good punch in his face. And at the end of the day, I've proven time and time again against guys that are just good at getting punched in the face that they need more.